Dating someone from another heritage, I would say, used to be very controversial, but I think now it's very common.
One of my friends right now is currently dating a black person, and it's like there's a lot of people in my school that are.
My parents were a mixed heritage couple. My father is African American and my mother is a white woman from Canada.
Well, for myself, I was 17, and that went, and then there was a child from that relationship, and then 20 years later, I was in a mixed, well, I married mixed heritage, mixed religion, and then 20 years later, I was in another interracial relationship.
Fairly uncommon, especially in my environment, but not because I think that it's difficult or it's unusual, but because living in Newton, there's only so many people of color.
You see much more of it today, and you don't see people yelling things at people walking down the street, which happened to me. Strangers saying things, being fired from a job. Today that couldn't happen. Today there'd be a lawsuit.
Mixed heritage relationships in my environment are very uncommon.
Probably before, maybe before high school and seeing all this around, it would have been maybe a little bit different, but now seeing it everywhere else, it doesn't, I don't think it matters.
In 1967, when I was in my first interracial relationship, it was very much frowned upon. He came to take me to lunch one day, and I was fired from my job because he was black. So it was not accepted at all.
You don't really think about anything that used to happen before, because it's just so normal for it to go on now.
I still think it is. I think that not everybody accepts it. Some places accept it more than others. In an artistic community, it might be more accepted. Maybe in Hollywood, it's more accepted. But in very straight-laced communities, I don't think it's totally accepted.
Or I hope our culture is more accepting of mixed-race couples, even though I think there's still a strong feeling that a lot of people have that you should kind of stick to your own self-segregation, if you will.
I guess the first story, I'll go back to my father, who was very much against my dating interracially, and then when I had a son who was black, wouldn't let me in the house, wouldn't accept him, wanted me to give him up for adoption. When my son was 3 or 4 months old, being Italian, we have big Sunday dinners. I walked into the house, and I walked up to my father, who sat at the head of the table, and I handed him the baby and said, "This is your grandson." And his eyes teared up, my eyes teared up. He got up and sat in his chair, and from that moment on, the man didn't have a prejudice bone in his body.
I have 2 cousins that are Chinese, and I have a black cousin.
My family would not have a problem with interracial dating. They would be more concerned over whether the guy was a nice guy, not what heritage he was from.
They support it because if they didn't, they'd be self-hating.
My sister is currently dating another race, and my family is completely fine with it. It doesn't matter. He's the same as us.
Now, it's not an issue. It's fine. They accept all races. There's a lot of mixed race people in our family. But when I first, way back, started dating, everyone objected until they got to know people and realized that there really isn't any difference.
My family is like very accepting with all the different races because, I don't know, like it started out originally with different races, like attracting each other. Like my grandmother had a black son and everybody eventually started not to care.
If I had an interracial relationship, I don't think I would take any precautions.
With her family, I don't think she really like would bring him over to the house, even though his sister has her boyfriend's black and has him over all the time. But I don't think she would feel comfortable. But like around school or going anywhere else, she's like fine with it.
I don't think there are any precautions that I'd worry about. People are gonna think what they want to think, and believe what they want to believe, but as long as I think that the couple knows that they love each other and they feel that what they're doing is right, then it really shouldn't matter anyone else's opinion.
Race for us as a couple was never an issue. So I would take the same precautions I would with any relationship, which is to treat each other with kindness, to be respectful, and to be honest. But the race thing, for people who date interracially, race is not an issue for them. That's why and how they got together.
Starting after my parents' generation, people have become more acceptable with interracial dating. I know my grandparents probably wouldn't have liked it, but I think now it's not really a big deal with generation.
So that'd be our generation, as opposed to my parents' generation. I'm
hoping that your generation is and generations to come. I always said when I was 18, 19, my dream for the world is that we're all mixed, and it looks like it's going that way. I would have to say your generation. I don't know because I'm not your generation. I can just look from the outside. My generation was definitely not. So I would have to say yours.
Do you know an interracial relationship?
No.
Have you ever been in one?
No.
Okay.
No, I have not been in an interracial relationship.
Do you know anyone who has been?
Yes.
Cool. Was it accepted?
Yes.
Great. Ever been in a mixed heritage relationship, interracial relationship? Do you know anybody who has been?
Yeah.
Has it been accepted? Yeah? Cool. Thank you.
Ask questions.
Have you ever been in an interracial relationship?
No.
Do you know anybody who has been?
No.
No?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of ridiculous.
Isn't it?
Have you ever been in a mixed relationship?
Yeah.
Was it accepted?
My parents liked it.
Your parents liked it? Everyone was okay with it?
Yeah, they were okay.
Anybody else give you shit for it?
My friends sometimes.
Don't say shit.
They did? What would they say?
They just joke about it, but
It
I
was-
don't know.
It's cool though either way?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
All right, go ahead.
I'm on America's Most Wanted.
Have you ever been in a mixed relationship, like interracial?
No.
No. Do you know anybody who has been?
Yes.
Is it accepted throughout your community?
Somewhat.
Somewhat accepted?
Yes.
Explain.
I accept it.
You accept it.
Why not?
You're pro mixed.
I accept it.
That's good.
I'm European, so you know. Why not?
It's alright, thank you.
It's your thing. You know, it's anybody's thing. You know what I mean? If you're happy, you're happy. You know, if you know, why not?